up, bro?
Oh yes, I'm Fred. I'm Frederick, MC, host, and procurement specialist as well.
Okay. Any gigs this December?
Yeah, this December there are a lot of gigs though, and then we pray for more.
Okay, so that means money in the pockets, man. I just want to know from you personally, I mean, for your brand supporting you, do you have specific type of events, weddings, parties, nightclubs?
I do weddings and engagements, let's say outdoorings, and then parties as well. Okay. So you could get me this Friday. You could chill with me this Friday at Pepper Pub.
Okay. Oh, you're going to be at Pepper Pub?
For sure.
Oh, I have to pull up. I haven't been out in a while, but I have to pull through. Talking about weddings, so a man who might be getting hitched very soon. I think we might have to talk to him. How you doing, boss?
I'm good, Jason. How
Kindly tell us about yourself. I'm good, thank you. For those who don't know you, I mean, I have celebrities in the studio.
Oh, very funny. So, Anthony Jackson, Yeye Kobina, I work with you.
Yeah, at MX24, of course.
At MX24.
And of course, I'm a good boy. I'm going to say this on TV. Come on, my fans and my viewers are watching.
Yeah, but people know me and they know I don't lie. So you're the bad boy of MX24.
You see,
which good reputation.
Yeah.
The bad boy of MX24.
Yeah. So. Okay, anyways, guys, MX24, GH, every single platform. The hashtag is MX Live. But I just want to know from you, December, are we going to be involved in any events? What's the plan for MX?
There's so much we have planned. Most of the big events, MX24 is on board. So it's very, very important that our viewers stay tuned, because if you want to go for any big event and you can't access tickets and all of that, if you tune in, there are so many ways you can. There's a QR code you can scan.
Nice.
You can call into some of our shows, the Dish, AM Club, and the possibility of you getting tickets and other juicy prizes.
Nice.
I just like, you know.
I mean, he said he doesn't lie. So if you guys, you have to take his word for it.
It's not a lie. You know this for a fact.
Yeah, I mean, I do. I
gave you VIP tickets for Whiskey. That's how come you're pulling up.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But before the show ends, I'm going to get my ass on. So.
You see, you just put yourself, you just dug a hole for yourself. Anthony, you just dug a hole. So guys, if you see him anywhere, attack him and get your tickets.
Yeah, sure.
He has them all around. So, but guys, thank you so much for making time. Very happy to have you here. And we have to get straight to it. Anthony, you work with a lot of artists. You've seen the show. We talk about Ghanaian artistry, South African music, the Nigerian market. You know, there's this comparison because in entertainment especially, you know, I'm sure in other fields too, but there's always going to be comparison, you know, from the fans and stuff. One thing I want to know, and this is something Rocky Dawini, it was advice. He was saying that, you know, young artists have to stay humble. And I'm saying all these things because I want to ask you, per the artists you've interacted with, Ghanaians, of course, are we humble? Are we appreciative? I'm saying this to say sometimes, a lot of times actually, we hear on TV, oh, artists, you know, they're entitled. You know, we've heard Honorable Marco Kweku, you know, put certain things out, advising artists also, you know, we're entitled, we're always late to interviews, you know, you give them a platform, this and that. And some people have attributed it to why we're not where we want to be as an industry. You know, we say our Nigerian brothers and sisters, you know, if they want it, they're going to go get it. So, again, for someone behind the scenes, I just want to get your take on this. Are we humble? Do we have more to do?
You know, I feel usually what happens is, first of all, the music industry is very difficult to crack. And despite having talent and all of that, sometimes it takes extra work. So when you finally get that big hit, you feel like you're kind of entitled to, you know,
be on your own.
Pump your shoulders.
Yeah.
Because you put in the work.
Yeah.
But also, I think we forget that it's not just you, the person, that created a brand. People came in to support and all of that. But once you have fans hyping you and playing your songs and all of that, the media that you used to chase, for instance, for interviews, when they call you, yo, bro, I got a show here, I don't think I can make it and all of that. But you see, the minute, I think what Rocky Dawini was trying to talk about humility is, it's very easy for people to switch up on you if they feel like you're forgetting where you came from, especially as we know, we always want to feel entitled to people's success. Because when nobody knew you, I put you there. So if you're going to...
But that's not also like fair on the media's part. Because if you call someone, right, and they say, oh, I've got a show in the States, that doesn't mean they're not humble. Right?
Let me tell you the story, right? So imagine you're working with a smaller media house. And when an artist was starting out, you put them on. When they wanted shows, you put them on. And then all of a sudden they blow. And then you call them and they're like, you know what, I don't think I want to do you. I would, you know, how would you feel?
Yeah, I mean, if you put it that way.
Yeah, exactly. And it happens a lot. It does happen a lot because now they get to pick and choose. So humility does take you far, because if you make it big and you still remember your roots and you're still open to, you know, helping others come up. Like, doesn't matter if the media house has maybe just 3 viewers watching, but if they helped me in the past, I need to just honor this.
So is it just that the creatives in this part of the world don't know how to put their messages across? Because again, this is advice. It could be very subjective. Because humility now might mean something to somebody and another to somebody.
I don't think what Rocky Downey meant by humility is getting paid in exposure or just being meek or anything like that. You know your worth. You know you're talented. You know you're creative. You know what you bring to the table. But what he's also saying is, don't let your light dim the light of other people to the point that nobody wants to be in the same space as you are.
Okay, so this is what he said. He said, you have to know that your talent is a gift from God. So you do not have to let your ego and pride control you. Learn to be humble so that God will bless you more. Be hardworking all the time. When you open yourself up and you also approach everything with a sense of humility, knowledge will abound. Your advancement. Carried on to say, you must be humble and hardworking to stay relevant and be able to achieve greatness in your career. Just keep believing it will happen, he added. And he also said, just like he said, it has nothing to do with money. So you can have money and still be humble. What do you think about this?
Yeah, I totally agree with what AJ said, because some of the big artists now, they are not even big yet, but you approach them. Oh yeah, of course. They are not even big yet, but you see them in town and you want to holler at them and they try and give you some kind of weird face as if you ain't humans. Oh yeah, because I've seen one.
And this is, you had personal experience?
Yeah, I've had personal experience. Because there was this guy who, I don't want to mention him, he's very known in Tadi. And then
okay.
Yeah.
AJ, let's narrow it down. Tadi.
No.
AJ, we need to do a chart.
Okay, so he's very known in Tadi.
Yeah.
And then he was the only big artist from Tadi. So
Clues.
no. So yeah. So whenever he goes to his town, as in he goes to Tadi, and then his people come around, like he doesn't give face.
Really?
Until they had another big star. Now when he goes, nobody minds him.
Oh.
For sure.
So I think it's more taking out the you factor. It's all about me and thinking about your brand as more of a business. So if it's about a business, for instance, if you were selling a T-shirt, you know how to market it to somebody. Oh, can I talk to you, please? Can you give me a few minutes of your time? But if it becomes a you factor, it's more like, okay, well, it's me. I'm the name. So
I just think this is more so a problem if it seems like it's a general thing. You know, we might say, okay, these artists are like this, or, you know, this artist don't. But it seems like it's becoming like a common conversation of Ghanaian artists are not humble, you know. Like he's saying, they don't want to show face. Like
I think it's just a few popular ones might not have the humility factor that he's talking about. But in general, most of the artists that I've run into, they're, I mean, very, 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 very nice. For instance, Manifest, who's coming on today. I've had a couple of interactions with him. I've invited him for interviews and all of that. And every time he meets you, and it's possible that they may have met you like 3 times, but they don't remember that they've met you. But each time he sees you, when you're talking to him, he looks you in the eye, oh, boss, like, you know, he talks to you like he's speaking to someone on his level. He doesn't make you feel lesser than. No matter how loud she is on Twitter, when she meets you in person and she's interacting with you, she doesn't make you feel like, yo, I'm better than you in any way. So if you ever, like, you're in a room where a decision is being made that, oh, let's call upon an artist to represent a brand or something, and they bring a particular name, and you've had like such open discussions, and you wouldn't.
I mean, one thing about communication is body language is a form of communication. So I just want to know from you, have you, because you're emceeing, I'm sure when you're doing that, you have fans, people want to be on the mic, want to be around you. Have you ever been accused of not being humble where it wasn't actually the case?
No.
Really?
No, not because even on stage with a mic, anyone who tries to approach me, I give the person a listening ear.
Okay.
Yeah, no matter what, because even kids. Even kids, because you'll be on stage and then a kid just wants to climb up.
Yeah.
As an MC or a journalist, someone, you have to have the mindset of, oh, okay, it could be a content for you. Who knows? It could be for you. So
and I'm asking that question is because I feel like sometimes too, every little thing you do, you're not humble.
Yeah, but also I think
Speak your truth.
We need to also allow people to have boundaries.
Yeah.
Because we're all humans. For instance, if I'm having a bad day, am I supposed to, simply because I'm a star, should I smile and take a picture with you? I'm having a bad day. I don't want to be in your space. Respect personal space. And see, I think fans usually have a huge sense of entitlement because I put you on, I play your music, I give you views on YouTube, so I feel like you're supposed to be nice to me if I see you in town and all of that. You know, it's a bit...
I mean, it's crazy to me, right? And again, Rocky Dawuni is advising us to be hard work, remember where we're from, where we're going, the people helped us, of course. But this word humility is very, very interesting to me because I've heard people accuse artists of not being humble because they didn't want to accept a certain fee for an event. So again, as much as we say artists are not humble, and I see people attack them and come for them, to say an artist is not humble because he feels like he's worth so more than what you're offering. That's not fair.
But Jason, you're a musician. You play shows, right? You know what your craft is worth to you.
Yeah.
You know that if I'm given a show, I'm going to prep. So I have a busy schedule. In the morning, I'm coming to MX to host a show. So the only time I'm going to prepare is from 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. when everybody's sleeping. You know what you put into it, right? So maybe when I started, I was charging 500 cedis a performance. I'm growing, and I'm putting more work because as more exposure comes, more work is going into it. So if I'm charging that is just me knowing my worth. So if you can't deal with that, I think sometimes when the conversation comes, people say you're not humble, and it involves pay. Just shrug it off.
Yeah, you have to.
Because people just pick on anything just to say anything. So
you have to
shrug it off and
you have to.
Move
okay,
on.
so that's what Rocky Dawuni said. And yes, in terms of hard work, where you're coming from, respect, to your subordinates as well as the leaders of the brands and companies you work with, very, very important. So from that aspect, we have to pay attention to that. But like AJ is saying, don't forget your worth, right? Do not forget your worth. MX24GH, every single platform, the hashtag is MX Live. So our next story, again, Rocky Dawuni said some stuff. I just want to know from you, for the gigs you're on, right? Is it more so you looking out for these gigs in terms of searching to be on these gigs, or are you, again, more so called to be on these gigs per these event organizers, industries and organizations reaching out to you? Which one is it, or is it a balance?
For me, like this, I can't say it's a balance because sometimes the event organizers won't even let you know it's a program until it's an emergency. Yes, because I've actually realized it before. There was a gig of which I knew about the gig, of which the event planner was to put me on the gig, but delayed. Thinking was the thought was to put someone on, but the person delayed or didn't pop up. So right now he has to find someone just to occupy that space. And then it comes to me. And then when it comes like that too, I would also not mind who you are.
That's not fair to you.
No, it's not fair to me. So I would have to also take advantage of it to give you a big deal.
Oh.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I asked this because Rocky Dawuni in the same interview said, I wonder why event organizers don't book me for shows. So the reason why I started like that is it more on the event organizers, to reach out to the artists that are not the biggest in this space, or is it for the artists to seek out to be on these events? Because there's two things, right? If we say the event organizers should just look out for the biggest artists, and I understand it's a business, you have to sell tickets. Let's not take that away from the organizers. What about the other artists? That means the shows we go to become monotonous. We see the same artists over and over and over, and fans have actually complained about these things. Again, if the artists have to reach out all the time to these event organizers, fees can be dumbed down because you're seeking my platform. So I just want to know, is there a balance? And this is what he had to say. He said, someone asked me the same question, and I told them, I have no control over whether or not the event organizers will book me. carried on say, I don't have any power over that, but we should ask any event planner why Rocky Dawuni isn't booked for events, even though he's been nominated at the Grammys 3 times. This is very interesting to me. Yeah, let's I mean, again, perspectives, right? Because it involves event organizers and the artists, obviously the fans, but being on the show, being billed for the show. And we've seen situations in Ghana a lot where artists are so heavily booked for a year because they had a hit song and you don't see them the next year. And I think this is very draining to artists. And that's another reason why we don't see consistency and longevity in the industry. So, you hear Rocky Dawuni say this. You've organized a couple of events. You've been part of people who organize events. I know this. When you hear this, for me it's heartbreaking, right? It's not a nice thing to hear that Rocky Dawuni doesn't know why he's not booked for events. Again, stating that he's been nominated for the Grammys 3 times. What do you think this says about the industry, the organizers, or does it say more about him as an artist because he's not the most or the biggest thing here? Like,
okay, so let me start from this angle. There are people who make songs, great songs, but it's for a selective group of people. And there are people who make songs for a selective group of people, but their brand eclipse their music, that people are interested in knowing about them. Yeah. So let me go to the US, for instance. When Taylor Swift started, she was doing country music. But a large fan base of hers were not country music. Like, they were not core country music listeners because they had created some mystique, some aura about the brand that people wanted to know more about Taylor Swift. So when she was breaking records, I remember most of the news articles were saying country star dominating charts and all of that because the brand was bigger than the music, right? So Rocky Dawuni, exceptional musician, but his brand I could say doesn't eclipse his music.
Okay.
Yeah. You know Rocky Dawuni as a musician, but are you curious to know what Rocky Dawuni does besides the music?
Is that enough?
So you see, usually people follow artists not just because of the music, but because of something that appeals to them. What Rocky Dawuni is giving Ghanaians is just the music. If I'm putting you on the show, even, for instance, Riala. When you see Riala performing on stage, even though you do not know the lyrics, you can't sing word for word, you're excited to know about Riala because you know she's bringing something else onto the stage.
But you just mentioned Riala, right?
Yes.
Aren't we doing the same thing to her? We don't see her on as many shows.
But Riala does perform on, well, not many shows as she should, but she is invited for most shows. Like, she goes for shows.
In Ghana?
Yes. I've seen Riala on some shows in Ghana. You get it? But you see, when you see Riala's name, when I see Riala's name on a bill, I'm not tuned off because she's exciting. You get it?
That's interesting.
And she's, you know, conversations do happen surrounding Riala. Most of the time when you hear about Rocky Dawuni, Grammys, or I rarely hear Rocky Dawuni news. I'm just being honest. When the Grammy talks comes, Rocky Dawuni name is pulled out and all of that. But then after, there is nothing. You hear Riala, Northern Region is honoring her. Riala is pushing Ghana music. She's on Twitter retweeting and responding to, you know, the brand of an artist should be larger than just the music.
So you feel like someone with everything Rocky's doing, and this is a very interesting perspective.
It's not just
you feel
music.
like he has more to do.
It's not just music. Is that the case? It's not just music. You're talking about longevity. Longevity means you're looking at your brand, your music, as a business. So how do I keep the business going? Because it's not just about the music. It's really not just about the music. There are many talented people who just make music and it doesn't go anywhere. It's about making people want to know more about you. And then the music just becomes just... Wait, I'm sorry. I'm going back to Brian Castle.
Okay, so guys, we're going to go for a quick commercial break. This is very, very interesting to me because the reason why it's even more interesting is I'm sitting here and I'm listening to you, right? And I'm sure that people who agree with you, some will disagree, granted. I'm just thinking, right? If Rocky Dawuni has more to do to be put on these platforms there.
I'm sorry. Look at Amanziba, for instance. He's been there for a long time, but he's able to generate conversation. He doesn't come up when we're talking about old timers being honored. You get it? So maybe we need to, like, there needs to be a publicity team,
Yeah.
who probably put out news about Rocky Dawouni. Let's not just make it about the music. So towards December, you've been in conversation for so long, people want to enjoy more of you. I think so.
Okay,
yeah.
What do you think, man? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Because, another thing is, if Rocky's not put on these shows, and I understand, it's not just about the music. I mean, I've always said it seems like now music is 80%. How you look, your music videos, where you're going, the pictures you're posting are as interesting as the music. And some may say that has taken away from the craft, right? That's what some may say. And so, yeah, what do you think?
I actually agree with what AJ said, because to be an artist is not just about the music. Because if Rocky Dawouni is someone who is actually active on social media and have people to listen to him, as in, even though he has the streams, all right. But I think the last time I went to Rocky Dawouni's show was Zen Gardens. That was 3 months ago. That was Zen Gardens. He had a live show in Zen Gardens. And then multitude came. But the thing is, how often do we see him on stage? And then
because that's what he's saying. He doesn't even know why.
And then I wouldn't blame the event organizers, because to be on stage, it depends on the kind of event it is. Because if I'm having a Love Feast show, and then as in a Love Feast concert, I can't bring Rocky Dawouni. Okay, I can't bring Rocky Dawouni in, because you have more of the artists who are doing love songs, who are vibrant, who are active, even not for their music, their style of dressing actually puts them on stage.
Yeah.
Yes, so it's not just about the
Are we
music.
just saying that artists should be controversial?
No, not controversial, but
okay, maybe not controversial.
The words
okay, no controversial, no controversial. But I just don't know. Do more putting themselves out there? Like
Jay-Z said it best. I'm a business man. You have to see yourself as a business. So
you nominated though, AJ.
Yeah,
3 times.
See, it's good. Like, he's made a name for himself, right? But I'm just saying, it takes more than just the music. It takes more than just the music.
Okay, I think,
even talking about the Grammy nominations and all of that, you realize that if you're watching like the run to award shows, when somebody's nominated, they go for interviews, they are doing IG lives and all of that. It's literally called an award campaign season. That's true. Because you're treated, you want the Grammy, don't you? Why do you think Nicki Minaj makes a whole lot of noise when the Grammy puts her out? Because you need to be out there, get people rooting for you, not just because of the music. For someone to come and write in a comment section, I don't really like you, but I agree with what you're saying, that means you're stepping outside of the music and you're bringing more people into your fold. So I'm just saying, even though he does make good music and but he just needs to attach a bit more to the publicity of who Rocky Dawouni is.
Interesting perspectives, angles, ideas. Please let us know what you think. MX24GH, every single platform. Because, like we're saying, I feel like it's not only Rocky Dawouni who's, I don't want to say sidelined because I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but it's not put on as much. I mean, there's a host of other artists. Some people say Wiala, is not put out as much. Amare, I feel like deserves more of a platform here. And again, these things don't mean they're not doing well out there. It means they're not doing well as artists, but we just want to see more of them, I guess. So let us know what you think. Got a couple of messages. This one said, bro, it's true, our Ghanaian artists are not humble at all. Saying Ghanaian artists are not humble. This one says, hi, I'm Welver from Agogo. We have to ask ourselves how many of us even listen to his songs. But you see, that's the thing. If he's not given the platform. I said here a couple of weeks ago, there are certain artists that break through with a music video. Certain artists is a song. There are other artists, it's controversy. And some artists, it's a performance. And everyone is looking for them. So my thing is, if people are not given a space to express themselves, some is just an interview. They say something, and we don't want to find out what they said. Some people might just be dating someone. Like AJ might be getting married tomorrow, and we're like, who's he dating? It might be the biggest thing, the talk of town. I mean, that's just an example. But, if they're not given these chances, these platforms, it's incredible. And again, let me just add this. I said some time ago, social media it seems like it's bridged the gap in terms of how big we should be. But now it's become more difficult because you have to do well on social media as well as on the streets. Your music might be big, but if you go to a brand, they might not endorse you because you don't have followers. Right?
I'm not trying to take you back. You mentioned Amare.
Yeah.
The whole of this year,
Yeah.
Amare was in conversations on Twitter and all of that.
She is.
So if Amare is booked for a show, for instance,
Yeah.
I'm going to go like, oh, that's the Amare girl. So now Amare performs and I like what she's doing, right? Yeah. But if for an entire year I hear about you just once or twice,
so the buzz around her is what you're saying.
The buzz, that's what I'm saying. The buzz is very important.
Okay.
The buzz creates interest about you.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
That's why artists will intentionally involve themselves in controversy to get the buzz.
Yeah, like someone I know.
This guy's just dropping bombs today. Said someone from Tadi now. Who are you talking about? Someone you know.
Say it with your chest.
Johnny, say it, man. Come on.
We know. We all know that. No, see, we all know you guys have one controversial person.
I don't know.
No. Oh, no.
I don't know.
We just have one controversial person here.
Who's that?
Oh, it start with S.
S.
Yeah.
I don't know who he's talking about. Anyways, guys, Emerson 4GH every single platform. Unfortunately, I have to let these guys go because Manifest is in the house. AJ, any shouts before you go, man?
No.
No shouts?
No.
All the people you work with?
No. Oh, wait. Well, I just realized I'm going back to the office.
He just said no shout. I'm going to carry on with the show.
Afro Girl, Dede, Benes. What do I work with? Tabita, TK. Yo, they know themselves. Shout outs.
So relax.
And you.
Okay.
Any shout outs, bro?
Oh, yeah, shout outs to Icons. Yeah, shout outs to Icons. There's an underground artist who's trying to come up. Yeah, then
bring him through,
buzz. That's a buzz.
Yeah.
It's creating buzz.
Yeah, that's creating buzz. Okay. Bring him through, man.
Influencer marketing.
Guys, I have to let them go, but like I said, Manifest is complete. If there's anything you want me to ask him, as always, MX24GH every single platform. He has an event coming up. We're going to talk about the album, how he's been. We're going to have our WhatsApp number. We have our WhatsApp number on there. You can send us messages directly. Stay tuned in.
The thrill, the performance, the surprises.
We got a special guest backstage.
Get ready for the most historic event. Hashtag WizKid Live Accra. Hashtag don't miss it. Global superstar WizKid live in concert at the Accra Sports Stadium, 10th December. Buy your ticket now on www.livehubent.com or *920 *60 *10 hash. WizKid Live at the stadium is presented by Live Hub Entertainment.
All of my guys know me all about me, babe.
6 years of explosive performances by the leader of the movement, a culture, a nation, Beam Nation. Burnet's Music presents the ultimate African Caribbean link-up, the Grand Arena, Friday, 23rd December, the 6th edition of the annual Beam concert with Stoneboy and the legendary Busy Signal. VIP tickets going now for 500 Ghana cedis and 200 Ghana cedis regular. Visit beamconcerts.com. Dial *365*2022 hash or call 0501-550-000 for VVIP table reservations. 23rd December, the Grand Arena, 7 p.m. prompt. Burnathon, Beam Nation to the world.
Can you come over? Right now, loneliness taking.
From the hoop, I dear when you and manifest a dance, any man food to it, was to turn the back.
Yeah, see how they slack, worry about all the things that they lack. Young, gifted, and black, gift a gap and I rap. I suppose I should clap, give thanks and give dap. Put my son on my lap, or run a victory lap. Opportunity knocks, but we too deaf to hear. Put to death our fears, bring to life our dreams. We out here, we don't adhere to regular rules. Our mama's fasting and praying for us circular fools. With some reckless dudes, lust for shoes and jewels. New chucks, custom made in such golden stews. Mysterious life, Nancy Drew shared no clues. Curious knife, stabbed us, now we bleed and bruise. Confusing wants with needs, what I want and need. A house in Tresaco, a villa, and not down with jet skis. Jet setting in the minutes, 30 seconds, and I reckon no question. Make every first I get the best impression. Just suppose I juxtapose me now with me when I was 16 years old. Innocence lost in less than 15 years though. I'm distinguished, so they can't extinguish my flow. I overpowered all these cowards, them no good fit, them need juju. I know I don't have to pound them, need fufu. No shortcuts to heaven, as yes was true.
No shortcut to heaven.
Okay, so Manifest is here. We're just going to get straight to it. We're debating Messi Ronaldo. Who's the GOAT? Please, you need to.
Messi is the GOAT.
And I was asking you, not Ronaldo?
No, the other guy is not in the. He's not in the GOAT conversation.
Again, I asked you even per the stats.
Yeah, per the stats. I was even for you, Seth. I did bring the stats up. Messi get 348 assists.
Of all time.
Ronaldo.
Champions League, international football.
I don't know that you can prove any of these things you're saying.
Anyways, guys, Manifest in the studio. He's more so into music than soccer. Charlie, big brother, welcome in.
Good to see you again, man.
Looking too fly, man.
Thank you. Trying.
Looking too fly. How
do you keep up with the youngins? You get me?
Manifest away from music, you know, the celebrity life, being out there, social media, behind the scenes as a man. How are you doing, man?
I don't know about the celebrity life. I'm an artist.
Come on.
I'm an artist, so I think that's what I lead with. You know, I lead with being an artist and a human being, not with walking around feeling special. Not to say that people don't know who I am. They do, but I think because I don't lead in with that, I don't concern myself with matters of celebrity.
Has that mindset helped you in terms of staying? We're talking about Rocky Dawuni, right? He was telling artists to stay humble. Yeah. Has that helped you stay grounded and humble?
I mean, I wouldn't phrase it the way Rocky did. Shout out to Rocky, big bro, and I'm sure he didn't mean it that way. Because in Ghana, usually when people say stay humble, that means they're trying to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You see what that's in me. But no, I think for me, being grounded, you have to find a way to be grounded, because if you're not grounded, you lose your way too easily. You know, the GPS is always for day on. Yeah. And for me, that's what it's like. Do things for your self-improvement, for your happiness and all that stuff. If you do it for show, it can be tiring. Yeah. I don't do anything for show. I do it for my life.
How?
Well, that's a lie. I'm wearing these for show.
How, as Manifest, I want to say as a man, but obviously as a musician, because you're out there, how and what have you improved on the most?
That's a really good question. As Manifest or as the man?
I think both.
Wow, that's...
Can you separate? Because the thing is, you said, you know, it's not about celebrity.
No, it's not, but there's layers, right? It's like human beings are layers. So Manifest is the layer that everybody sees. Then my friends will see the Kwame layer, my mother will see Kwame, you know. So that's what I mean. It's the same, it's an onion. Yeah. Well, but that was a really good question. What have I improved? I definitely think as an artist, I have improved my ability to evolve, my ability to kind of innovate, you know, because I think I'm more confident. I'm not confident. I know that I fit do that. You get me? So I'm not bound to anything of yesterday or today. Or I can innovate because I feel that confident. I'm fortunate enough to also have a fan base. So I'm like maybe teaching. So that for sure as an artist. As a human being, what have I improved? I think I'm working on improving my patience. You know, I come off more patient than I actually am.
Impatient in terms of what you demand of yourself?
Of myself and others. So my demeanor is usually patient because I know how to hold myself back. But sometimes testing my patience is a thing. It could be something as simple as you're parking your car and then they say park it this way, and so I ask simply why.
Yeah.
And they don't want to answer. I'm like,
okay.
Anyways, but I'm improving that. I've been working on that, you know, because I'm somebody's father.
That's very good. Okay. Now the thing is, as much as you're a man who represents yourself, you don't just speak for yourself because you're a manifest. You have a fan base. You speak for all these people, whether you like it or not. You know, I've seen celebrities say they're not role models, but to some extent, usually it's very you are role models. And I just want to know from you, with the industry you're in, again, you don't speak for yourself, but you do speak for the industry to some extent. Have you seen the words right now evolved and innovate? Has the industry evolved and been as innovative as possible? And the industry is the event organizers, the media, the artists, the music we're putting out, the promotion. Have we done these things so far?
It has progressed, but not as quickly as the artists have. So
not as quick. That's deep.
Institutionally and infrastructurally, it is not. So the ingenuity of artists is what has taken this thing further. It is great that when we were younger, it was only Miss Ghana and whatever the artists could perform at. So it's great that you see more of those. But look at it, December, most of these shows, manifestivities, are artist-based. Artists are actually the ones who put these on. Or most of the top acts and put their own shows on, correct?
Yeah.
I mean, that's incredible.
That's true.
That's incredible. When we have to do touring, etc., we have to put everything together. So there has been evolution. There's more media. All of that is great. But artists are evolving quicker and have, it's exceeded what the industry is providing the artists.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Black Sherif, such a phenomenon. Can you really say that he's a product of this system?
Yeah, that's true. Because I was talking to someone yesterday and I asked them this, and I want to ask you this. Yeah. Why don't we have 5 Black Sherifs in a year? And someone might say, oh, we have 1. That's good. Let's take it as it is. But again, as well as these artists are doing, they can't do it by themselves. And some might say he's not even a product of what the industry is doing. He's a product of his hard work. You know, what he's been through and the craft he's putting out there.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
If the media isn't helping as much, if the industry isn't putting in the way, it's going to take us years to catch up, right?
I mean, I try to be optimistic, but let me make one correction. Number one, there's not going to be 5 Black Sherifs. He's a one-of-one artist.
Not 5 Black Sherifs. 5 as good as or big.
Oh no, there are people as good as. In terms of attention, there could be 20 like that.
But we don't get that.
Yeah. Well, of course, because there's 2 sides to it. Number one, like I said, the system itself is not confident. And it doesn't tell artists to be confident. It tells you to be humble. And in essence, what happens is that some of the most talented people, they're incredibly talented people here who are world global talents in terms of talent level, output of music, but don't have the hacks or the resources to be able to because going viral is luck. You know, it won't happen to the most talented people. 99.9% of talented people will not make it by going viral. It will be like steps to get there.
Yeah.
So people always look at the anomaly and hope that 20, nah, that's not how it works. So there are other talented people who are not getting, as they say, the push because they don't have all the hacks around them. We don't have a system where you actually have managers, etc., all these things. We build it as artists. Every artist and their manager, they came up together, they're friends. It's not some established person, etc. We create our own labels. Every artist here has their own, almost. But you know what I mean? So I'm just saying that it's remarkable what people have been able to do, but it will be even more remarkable if we defy those odds of this infrastructure not being that high and just say like, Charlie, I read. We go teaching and whatever. So I want to even encourage artists that look, because of how the system is, you almost have to be 3 times or 5 times as good as your counterparts anyway. To do that, you have to be fearless.
Yeah.
You can't be like doing the normal thing.
Yeah.
You forgo hard. Anything that has blossomed from here has been fearless. Look at when Asaka popped off. Fearless. Black Sherry. Fearless. That's how this thing works. Artistry that is safe in a system that is not well structured, Charlie, you get no more money the rest of your life.
I plan to ask you what you think of the landscape of music right now. I mean, the Ghanaian scene. And per what you're saying, I think that you would carry on and say that. I mean, it's good per what the artists are putting out. So, right?
No, I mean, it's promising.
It's promising.
Me, I'm pro-artist. So, for instance, every single month, I encounter so many new artists.
Okay, but
like I do challenges, I do clean up here. And then
is promising, encouraging in 2022 when with the pace with the pace at which the world is moving? Let's be honest.
Because I mean, going from promise to reality, there are steps. We have to focus on process. We like results. We like to talk about this person is big. They're doing 100 million streams. It's the process from promising to reality that we focus on. Promising is an essential part of making that reality happen. You don't go from 0 to 100, even though Drake has been telling you.
Real quick.
And so for me, that's what it is. So when I look at the promising thing, it's not a complacency or to say we're fine. I'm trying to say, look, this is where we are at. There's potential. You know, when I did a Clean and Pure challenge recently, like I could pick 10 artists in there that were just like killing it, that could potentially be big stars and have great music careers. How does it go from there to higher heights?
Okay.
And that's that process that has to be focused on, not the complaining, oh, Nigerian. I don't want to hear any of that. It's rubbish.
Yeah, I mean, it comes up in conversation. I mean, fans are going to be fans. And
fans are going to be fans. I don't blame fans per se. Me, I don't, because fans don't get to see behind the curtain as much, but they are intelligent and very perceptive, so they can make intelligent guesses about stuff like, oh, why aren't you doing this? A fan will be like, yo, you released your album, you haven't released videos. They don't understand videos are money. I mean, everything, etc. But they have a point. It's like, okay, what marketing are you doing for you to get here, etc. So, but what I'm saying is rather the other people, media, potential investors, events, so-called gatekeepers have to really step it up. I'll tell you, artists, man, forget shun the gatekeepers. What the place they're gatekeeping, that house is old. That gate, you don't need to go through those gates. Find other gates. Forget them.
What do you think about the landscape of rap?
Rap is always...
music is music now. Rap is rap.
Rap is always strong because hip-hop has such an immediacy with people, right? Like if you go online, a lot of the conversations about rap. They might be listening to Afrobeats every day, but they care more about hip-hop. It's crazy. And it also has such an influence, like on the biggest stars, whether it's Afrobeats, etc. They're all rappers. Which of them was not a rapper before, whatever. So hip-hop had... So it's always going to be here, you know, Asaka, all this stuff. So it's great. But for us as Ghanaians, we are diverse. It's the same way that you have Bobo and then you have all this thing. I'm less concerned with hip-hop or Afrobeats than Ghanaian music. I'm more concerned with it as a totality. And the more diversity flourishes, the more that we go kill them.
Yeah, the more that we go kill them. I mean, you have a show coming up, but again, when we said you were coming up, we saw a couple of questions and I had to bring this in.
No problem, I got you. I did for you.
Rap is competition.
Yes.
Rap is healthy competition, you know. Rap is about standing on your own 2 feet and fighting for what you believe in, basically. Wizkid recently said some stuff about rappers, you know, and who he regards as rappers. I think Nasty C was in there, Black Sharif was in there, Sarkodie was in there. Wizkid, as a big artist just like yourself, when you guys say things, people pay attention to it. We can't run away from these things. When someone of his stature says something like that, are you hurt? Or do you
hurt?
Do you think about it? Do you think about it? Do you like? Because Manny, I mean, as much as it's doggy dog world, emotions are involved sometimes. How do you feel about that?
This thing is all action, right? Your actions are going to. You have to be proactive instead of reactionary. People are too reactionary. I have no time for these things. Do fearsome if you're a Ghanaian artist. This self no be one matter. That's it. Action. we spend too much time reacting to things, like as if we don't have like a GPS. When you're focused and when you're laser focused, sometimes you hear and you hear many different things, but waiting concern you. You understand, like on a level, and sometimes it's important because it's so distracting that everybody will have an opinion. Then they say, "Oh, this is this." Then the fans, then you're always reacting. I've always loved being a person who sets a pace of a conversation, who changes the narrative, who challenges the thing. Not a person who's reacting. I'm not interested in it. If I'm going to react, it has to be something of greater consequence to me, and this is not one. This one doesn't check into those boxes.
Okay, interesting there. Something that is of great concern to us is your event coming out.
Straight up.
Charlie, I have to give you a clap, man. Charlie, you've been doing this for years.
Yeah.
Very cliche question. What's going to be different? What's going to happen this year? What should we expect from Manifest?
No, I like it. Makes it not cliche by the fact that you preempted it by saying it's a cliche. No, look, it is. This year is exciting because we're back outside in a big way. You know, Manifestivities has always had a great reputation. People have such an amazing time, but you know, pandemic things kind of made us go quiet. So it's exciting because this is our return. And every return, it'll be boom, boom. You get me?
Yeah.
And we also with experience, we know how to curate these things better for musical experiences. And I am so proud of how much work we put into the musical experience of Manifestivities.
We are too, man.
And I promise everybody, those who, and I don't even know like overselling it, because fortunately everybody who's ever come has a great word about it. But there are maybe people who have never come, and maybe this will be your first. And this your first time will not be your last time, because you will be a repeat offender after that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's well curated. We've announced the first wave of artists: Jackie, Kwesiata, Tinea. Okay, I was going to mention some names that haven't been announced.
Okay.
But and more people. Yeah. But beyond that, it's not even just the names. It's curated in a way in which you will have even some of the people you love. You get better sets from them on Manifestivities, I promise. Shout out to Kojo Manuel too, by the way.
Oh
Has
yeah,
been holding us down.
He's been doing his thing, man.
Since you know.
Big shouts to him.
You know,
man.
he low key he knows like 2018 Manifestivities was one of his tipping points and turning points, because he killed that, and people were really, really feeling it.
On behalf of him, thank you for the platform, you know, and all the other artists you give a platform, because you do.
Yeah.
So when is it happening? Where is it happening?
December 18th at the Bukom Boxing Arena. It's a fantastic venue if you've never been there. You can get tickets at manifestivities.art. I know Manifestivities is the syllabus child, so if you know, just go my page and click the link, .art. There's a short code as well as on the flyers. I can't remember from the top of my head. I'm sorry. I'm an artist, not a friend of saying. I'm not a salesman. Also, the dope thing is, I run a competition to give some next-gen people, one next-gen person an opportunity to not just perform on Manifestivities, to be paid to perform. So shout out to you, Kokusi, for winning. He was the one that won. He'll be paid to perform on Manifestivities this year. We're going to have a couple more next-gen people.
PTP, paid to perform.
Straight up, no exposure.
Finally, you don't have to be the biggest thing in Ghana to get paid to perform.
No, I mean, the way the economy had,
Charlie,
I thought that the people who are on the come up also deserve some love.
Thank you for that.
So it was something that it wasn't, you know. So I did it on a whim on Twitter one day, and then it became something else. But I'm glad we did that. But shout out to everybody who took part. We'll still have a couple other next gen people as well. But he put together a fantastic entry, and I'm excited.
Nice.
December 18th is going to be a special thing. Come early. I beg you, come on time. We're not doing any of these things. I know you people be online, be saying how artists be doing shows late. I've been watching you, but I don't react. But I'll react if you people come to Manifest. No, you won't come late.
Guys, go through and support him. We're definitely going to keep up the energy until it is that day. I've got a couple of messages. I had to read this one.
No problem.
Hey, Jason, it's Nas again. Thanks for always putting my faves on the show as always.
Wicked.
Please ask Manifest if he has any intention of running a label anytime soon, because I think his knowledge in the game should be manifested in others too. See what he did there? And please, Jason, okay, check your DM. Okay, so label anytime soon?
No, I mean, I've founded, and I am developing a less traditional route. I think, once again, like I was saying, if we're in a place like this that is already resource light, you have to find away. So I have a company with a friend of mine called Culture For It. Even this year, we work with like 60 emerging music professionals early on, etc. But we are developing other pathways to help take creators from promise to superstardom.
I had to add this one. Hi, Jason. I'm Desi from Takrade. Tell Diggity that I've got massive love for his craft. Much love here. Medina to the universe. Tell him Ronaldo's the GOAT. I didn't say this. He said it.
I knew you wanted to say that.
I'm sorry, bro.
Yeah, you wanted to add an epilogue.
I'm sorry, bro. And I want you to give a very big happy birthday. CK, he works with us, man. It's his birthday.
Oh, CK. Yeah. Okay. Why is he the guy?
I mean...
Yo, big up yourself, CK. Many more years, many moons of joy. Nice. Many decades of growth and having everything that you desire. Your energy will be where you need it to be, even in a tough economy. You go make up.
And to anyone else, celebrating this month, Manifest, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, my brother.
It seems like we could go on and on.
I know, right? We always have good conversations.
Yeah, I have a podcast coming up, so I'd love to have you on there.
Okay, I do for you.
Nice one.
Yeah,
please. So once again, December 18th, and of course, from now till then, we're going to be hyping it up, talking about it, how you can get the tickets. Like you said, go on his page, manifestive.art, right?
Yeah, manifestivities.art.
Manifestivities.art.
Please, producer, put it on the screen. Manifestivities.art.
It's going to be everywhere. So please, again, go out there and support. This is what we talk about, pushing our own, appreciating our own. Guys, okay, so like you said, Manifest, we done it for you. It's on TV. Yeah, that's it.
There we go.
That's the short code. You can buy your tickets. Location is on there. Manifestivities, man. Guys, I'm going to see you same time tomorrow, 3 to 4 p.m. Have a very good one. Salute.